One day, thousands of students, and countless possibilities. Welcome to a new episode of Real School. I'm Joel Oliver. Today we begin with Duval County Public Schools' 2016 School Choice Expo, giving families the tools they need to build their futures. Real School reporter Alex Sobel is here with the recap of the highly anticipated event.
Joel, the first thing you get when you walk into the School Choice Expo is one of these. Access to every single one of our schools right at your fingertips. But it gets better, because at this expo, parents and students can experience all of our schools under one roof. How often can you find music, art, animals, robots, and flight simulators all in one place?
We'll show them all the cool stuff about our program, and I feel that they'll like it a lot.
This year's School Choice Expo drew well over 16,000 people. Talk about a huge crowd. And there was something for everyone, from parents to students to even some of our youngest residents.
I think this provides a really good way for both the teachers and the community to get together and interact.
For the third year in a row, this expo showcased every single school in the district. And attendees saw it all: magnet, choice, accelerated programs, neighborhood schools, and more. Which of course meant schools really pulled out all the stops. Check out this medical display, this cool smartboard table, and, we can't forget, plenty of live student performances. Principals say this provides a much-needed opportunity to show off what goes on in our school district.
Kids earlier and earlier now know where their interests lie, and parents know their kids' abilities and interests and talents. And so when you ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Many of them say a doctor, or a nurse, or a vet. Some of them don't know, but it just helps kind of explore their options.
Students we spoke to say they like showing off too. They want the world to know what their school has to offer.
Our school is very friendly and people are always polite and nice. I just think it's really fun to try and show our school, Thomas Jefferson, to other people.
This year's theme was Build Your Future. It was clear parents and students came looking for just the right fit.
It gave me a lot of information about each of the schools that we are thinking about him attending.
It's big and very informative.
It gives a lot of options for us, like to see middle schools, because we're in 5th grade now.
It was also clear that school spirit was alive and well.
I feel like it's pretty much an opportunity to show people how sophisticated we become from when we started to where we are right now.
It'll help us actually keep us self-motivated and actually do something, like I said, in life.
What an event! And what an opportunity to see excellence in every school, every classroom, for every student, every day.
You're on the outside of a school, you don't know the inner workings of the school, so this is the time and the place to really bring the inside and the culture and everything to the outside to showcase it to the public.
Okay guys, time is ticking and deadlines are approaching for magnet choice and transfer options. For more information, visit duvalschools.org. For Real School, I'm Alex Sobel.
Duval students are kicking their STEM education into high gear, thanks to some hands-on action and some high-tech opportunities. Real School anchor Desiree Miller is here with more on the exciting programs advancing our students at light speed.
Joel, first let me get your attention. Let's head to Fort Caroline Middle School for one serious STEM workshop featuring one of our nation's most prestigious academies. It was like putting together the pieces of a puzzle, but think of it more as a sophisticated three-dimensional puzzle. You see, these students are building Lego robots, and their guides are cadets and faculty from the United States military at West Point. And this is part of a West Point mobile science, technology, engineering, and math workshop. About 40 avid students grades 6 through 8 work together to assemble and program robots. Leaders say this was a unique opportunity for students to learn more about real-life STEM applications. And check this out. One of the cadets is a recent graduate of Stanton College Preparatory School. How cool is that?
It's just absolutely rewarding to just give back to where I came from. If you can't really advance the world with science and technology, then you're not really moving the world forward.
There is an inherently huge demand for engineers, for technical specialists, and particularly the gender difference with young women. A lot of young women don't see themselves as going into those fields. So What this does is it shows them from an early age, yes, I can do this, yes, it's appealing to me. And then as they matriculate through higher education, wherever they go to school, they realize that there's a real demand for their skills.
This workshop travels the country visiting different schools and organizations. This particular visit would not have been possible without the help of the West Point Society of North Florida, a local alumni association. Now let's go from Legos to beakers and test tubes. Our next story takes us to Mandarin High School, and we're taking a closer look at an academy with the formula for success.
Make sure that you have the following. Everybody's looking on the board. In your station.
They've got gloves, graduated cylinders, tongs, and goggles. Students in this industrial biotechnology class are working in groups. They've been tasked with making special gel and injecting it with dye. But teacher Donnelly Santiago says in this classroom, they're much more than just students. They're scientists.
I try not to tell the kids exactly what to do once we model the lab, because they have to learn from their experimental errors, and that will help them later in getting ready for college and university level courses.
In fact, Santiago says 70% of what takes place in this course is lab work. Through a hands-on approach, students are learning to apply core concepts from their science and math classes.
To be honest, I think it's a great program, and I really enjoy everything throughout the year that we're doing so far, and the labs are great.
So you may be asking yourself, what is industrial biotechnology? It is a science elective in its second year at Mandarin High School, and the only program of its kind in the district. Students begin the course by learning something called SLOP, or Standard Lab Operating Procedures. Then they dive into assignments created to imitate real-world scenarios.
The content focuses on pharmaceutical, research and development, engineering, and agriculture. So we try to work in those 4 realms, and we try to work with some of the student interests that they would like to do.
On top of their in-class work, students also participate in field trips and extended learning opportunities.
Just the other week we went to U of F to help perform various labs with some of the professors there and help with their research and actually learn what they're doing.
They're bridging their in-classroom experiences to higher learning and career opportunities.
There are multiple careers that you can pursue, such as like lab-based careers, and there are business careers that you can also do as well.
It shows that there actually is potential behind this career field. It's a very lucrative opportunity.
As you can see, these gels turned out really well, and students totally rocked it with their dyes. In the end, Santiago says this is much more than just an experiment. It's an important pathway to their future.
It allows different avenues that students don't think about that are available to them when they leave high school.
It's order in the court as students from Jeb Stewart and Joseph Stillwell play the judge, jury, and more.
This side is going to want to prove their case to the greater weight of the evidence, and then we have defense lawyers who are going to defend the case. So,
this is video from inside of the Middle District of Florida Federal Courthouse in downtown Jacksonville. Students participated in the 7th Amendment Symposium put on by the Jacksonville chapter of the American Board of Trial Advocates. Local attorneys and judges spoke to students about the 7th Amendment, which is the right to trial by jury in civil trials. Part of that instruction included role play. Students sat on the judge's bench in the jury box and also sat in as defense attorneys and prosecutors. Speakers walked students through the order of events in a typical civil trial. What a great way to learn about our system. Good job. For our next story, thousands of Duval students are literally getting some food for thought by taking on a very important role, taste tester. Real School reporter Molly Kirkwood joins us now. She's serving up all the delicious details. Molly?
Come and get it at the 2nd annual DCPS Chartwell's Food Show. Lunch and breakfast are served. And lucky for these students, the selection goes as far as the eye can see.
Here you go.
Food, food, and more food.
This is popcorn chicken. It's lower in sodium. It's whole grain.
I say this space is looking pretty good. Now add to this food thousands of hungry students, and well, you really can't go wrong. We get to eat. For the 2nd year in a row, Duval County Public Schools and Chartwells have teamed up to put on this food show.
It's really critical for us to get opinions, raw, unfiltered opinions of students as we test what we think would be great menu items for them.
All of this food has the potential to end up on the school lunch or breakfast menu next school year. So what better way to decide who eats what than to give students a say? an estimated 3,000 students to be exact. To assist in the process, every participant was given a survey. They ranked their food with the like, neutral, or dislike. Chartwell's K-12 Vice President Brian Giles says all survey results will be taken into consideration.
Well, I think everybody at a base level wants to know and trust what's put on their plate. So this is a great way for students to really interact with food in a way that's very non-threatening, it's experimental.
About 40 vendors with everything from snacks to entrees and to desserts items filled the room, hoping these students would help taste and see their food into our schools.
I think some of the foods are fantastic, but some of them I'm not so sure about.
They might put it on our list in our lunch cafeteria.
Now, if you're thinking this food looks too good to be healthy, think again. Every food item must meet the same guidelines as the food currently served in our schools.
If something is nutritious, it does no one any good if it's simply thrown in the garbage. So we want to make sure that this nutritious food also tastes really good.
It was pretty clear that these students knew what they liked.
It's like a smoothie,
the jambalaya, and stuff like cooked food.
But what was even more apparent was students' desire to have a voice in the process.
Instead of just guessing on how they taste, you can actually know, and they could put it in schools for other kids.
Chartwell's likes to have next year's menu finalized by springtime. I, for one, can't wait to see who made the cut. I'm hungry just thinking about it. For Real School, I'm Molly Kirkwood. Back to you.
Next on Real School, they're on top of their game and scoring big for Team Duval. In moments, we're giving you front row seats to the PopUp Quiz show. Find out how this educational game is also scoring big on fun. Plus, you can say this is a gem of a story. Dozens of Duval student athletes are getting a special recognition in the star-studded ceremony. Find out why after the break. Don't change the channel. Real School will be right back.
When I read, I shoot for the stars. As an astronaut aboard a spaceship. When I read, I learn ways I can keep my dog healthy, just like a veterinarian. When I read, I'm a firefighter. Feels great. Today's the day. When I read, my career is clear for takeoff. As a pilot, the sky's the limit.
VPK students develop literacy skills needed to become better readers. For a complete list of the Duval County Public Schools that offer VPK, go to duvalschools.org or call us at 904-390-2877.
My education.
My education
is up to me.
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 To be successful in school, career,
and life.
I commit.
I commit
to making good choices.
Engaging with good people.
Good people.
And exercising good habits.
To improve myself, my school.
And my community.
My community.
Our community.
Welcome back to Real School. You could say the Jacksonville Beach Elementary community is seeing blue. That's thanks to an impressive title, 2015 National Blue Ribbon School. This is a photo of school and district leaders in Washington, D.C. accepting the award. Jacksonville Beach Elementary is one of just 335 public and private schools to earn the distinction from the U.S. Department of Education. So it only makes perfect sense that the school hosted this special assembly to celebrate. You can see just about everyone was decked out in blue. Guests from the city of Jacksonville Beach, as well as district leaders, joined in on the fun, which included performances by both students and teachers. The award honors schools in overall academic excellence or in closing achievement gaps. We want to wish Jacksonville Beach a big congratulations on this achievement. Great work! Duval County Public Schools is moving up the ranks in its graduation rates. New data shows the district is making big gains in key areas. Real School anchor Madeline Bryant joins us with more.
Joel, you can say Duval is, in many ways, at the top of its class. Our district has recently shown more improvement in its graduation rates than any of the biggest 7 districts in the state. And guess what? That good news is just the beginning. There's nothing quite like graduation. At Duval County Public Schools, we not only want to see all students earn diplomas, we want to see them attain to our vision. That is, to be inspired and prepared for success in college or a career and life. Now more than ever, we are seeing more students crossing that stage and earning this impressive milestone. For the third year in a row, DCPS has earned its highest graduation rates in district history.
It's important that people understand that there is a lot of hard work going into this. And when we talk about the graduation rate, we're talking about children who have passed all required assessments for reading and math and who have gotten all of their credits required by the state of Florida.
Board member Becky Couch and board chair Ashley Smith Juarez recently joined Dr. Nikolai Vitti in announcing the latest graduation rates. Dr. Vitti shared a number of exciting gains, including this one. Duval County Public Schools now has the highest African American graduation rate among the state's 7 largest school districts.
One emphasis has been from the beginning as far as this administration is concerned is to narrow the achievement gap. That we can celebrate graduation rate increases for all students, but now we can celebrate graduation increases specifically for our African American students.
Listen to these other exciting milestones. Our graduation rate is now at 76.5%. This is an increase of 2.6 percentage points from last year. In fact, the district's graduation rate has gone up nearly 9 percentage points in the last 3 years. District leaders say these statistics are significant for many reasons. Among them is the amount of money that graduates can earn in the long run.
A high school graduate earns an average of $10,386 more than their non-graduate peers every year. So we see the opportunity of these increasing graduation rates.
3 high schools had graduation rate increases of more than 10 percentage points. They are William M. Raines, First Coast, and A. Philip Randolph. And listen to this. For the second year in a row, Darnell Cookman's School of the Medical Arts achieved a 100% graduation rate. So, what did these leaders attribute to this success?
These graduates certainly didn't accomplish this goal on their own. They were guided by teachers, by parents, by mentors, by faith leaders who all invested in their success. And they were supported by systems that have been carefully crafted by our superintendent and his staff to lead them to graduation.
By the way, the Big 7 school districts in Florida are Broward, Dade, Duval, Hillsborough, Orange, Palm Beach, and Pinellas. Congratulations to everyone who made these gains possible. For Real School, I'm Madeline Bryant. Back to you.
For our next story, a middle school auditorium is transformed, becoming the site of a live game show. It's called the PopUp Quiz Show, and that's Julia Landon College Prep Principal Timothy Fagans serving as the host. The Florida Department of Education's PopUp Quiz Show travels the state, giving students a chance to partake in a little friendly competition about civics. Landon's 2 teams, the Patriots and Children of Liberty, went head-to-head before an audience of 275 7th graders. Equipped with buzzers and mics, students answered questions about law, history, and more. In the end, only one team could emerge as victorious, the Patriots. But we're pretty sure all of these students won big. Good job. Athletes at Matthew Gilbert Middle School are making out like champs. The generosity of a former NFL player and Gilbert alum is putting a little pep in their step and some bling on their fingers. Real School reporter Charlotte Rogers has the details.
Talk about some winning moves. These athletes scored big time when a local foundation stepped in and gave them gifts they'll never forget. Check it out. These brand new championship rings were presented to members of last year's championship-winning football and basketball teams. Aren't they amazing? The rings were gifts from the Leon Washington Foundation, run by the former NFL player of the same name. And our cameras were rolling as one by one, students were publicly recognized in a special ceremony in the school auditorium. Washington brought in another big name for the big occasion. He was joined by NFL player Bernard Purnell, Jr. Before students received their rings, Washington and Purnell took time to give athletes a few words of wisdom. You see, the pair told us that they not only want to do something special for the team, but they also want to drive home the importance of pursuing an education.
That's the foundation of everything. I believe that your education gives you opportunity to open your life and broaden your horizons. I mean, for me, it was through athletics and football. But now that my career is almost done with football, I can broaden my horizons and different things I want to do in life.
You know, this is truly an honor, you know, and what we hope for what they take from this is, you know, that's motivation. You know, every time you look at that ring, that should motivate you. That should, you know, motivate you to stay focused, to stay hungry, to stay humble, to stay true, to stay encouraged.
Now, Washington knows a thing or two about Duval County Public Schools. He told students that he actually grew up in their neighborhood on Jessie Street, less than a mile from the school. Pretty cool, right? Washington also attended R.L. Brown Elementary and Andrew Jackson High School before going to Florida State University. Another big congratulations to the winning basketball and football teams. For Real School, I'm Charlotte Rogers. Back to you.
Next on Real School, they speak 105 languages and they're from more than 120 countries. We're talking about the district's diverse student population. After the break, we're sitting down with the executive director of ESOL, or English for Speakers of Other Languages. Watch to learn more about the different cultures and nationalities in our schools. Stay tuned, Real School will be right back.
My education.
My education.
Is up to me.
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 To be successful in school, career,
And life.
I commit.
I commit
To making good choices.
Engaging with good people.
Good people.
And exercising good habits.
to improve myself, my school,
And my community.
My community.
our community.
From Haiti to Cambodia and from Russia to Albania, over 5,500 Duval students from 122 countries are served by the ESOL department. ESOL stands for English for Speakers of Other Languages. Real School anchor George Boston is here with more.
Joel, today I'm joined by Christine Denke, Executive Director of ESOL. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
So let's get started. So can you give us an idea of where some of our ESOL students are from? What are some of the countries they represent and the languages they speak?
Sure. We serve a very diverse group of students here in Duval County Public Schools. Our ESOL office serves about 5,600 English language learners actively now. Yeah, and they're coming from about over 120 countries, speaking over 105 different languages.
That's great.
So the vast majority are Spanish speakers, about 55%. And then Arabic is our second most widely spoken language. Burmese is our third.
Really?
And all 103 others are in the mix at the end.
With the district serving so many different students, does that mean that our staff is also very diverse?
Definitely, starting with the ESOL office here in Prudential Drive in our building here on the third floor, ESOL office. Hind Shahid works with us, and she's from Morocco, grew up speaking a Moroccan dialect of Arabic, learned Arabic in school, speaks French, Spanish, and now English as well, and that's just one person on our staff. So we have someone from Bosnia who speaks Bosnian and German, someone from the Philippines who speaks Tagalog, someone who speaks Russian, Ukrainian. I feel like I'm missing some because there's so many languages that are well represented in the ESOL office. But Spanish, because it's the predominant language of the students and parents that we serve, is the predominant language in the ESOL office as well. But not just the ESOL office, not just in the ESOL office do we have people that speak many different languages, but the more people I meet in Duval County Public Schools, the more principals and teachers, paraprofessionals, they really hail from across the globe and speak a variety of languages. So I just think the diversity here in Duval County is really neat.
That's incredible. So when a student from another country enrolls in the district, what is the process they have to go through?
Sure. So the process for enrolling in school is the same if you're coming from Georgia or from the country of Georgia, right? You're going to go to your neighborhood school. There are the resources available online for you to print out the enrollment package if you have those technological resources. It comes automatically in English and Spanish. So you can fill out the form online or at school. The majority of newcomers do enroll directly at any of our schools. The one interesting or additional piece that we offer is our Center for Language and Culture. We like to call it our CLC, and that's at Kings Trail Elementary. And there we work with the refugee resettlement agencies because I don't think it's very widely known, but Jacksonville is actually a refugee resettlement area.
Really?
Designated by the federal government. So there's 3 agencies we work with very closely: Lutheran Social Services, World Relief, and Catholic Charities. So they're continuously bringing refugees from around the world to Duval County and enrolling them in our schools. So we make the CLC their one-stop shop to help them fill out the forms, because they speak languages that are not very well represented, and we want to make sure that they get the best experience right from the beginning with our schools.
Great. What are some of the ways your department works with parents?
Sure, I'm really proud of our parental involvement. At the CLC that I was speaking of, we offer a monthly calendar full of classes for parents who speak English and want to learn another language, and mainly focused on parents who speak a language in addition to English and are practicing their English here. So we started off with some Rosetta Stone classes. Rosetta Stone's a really popular language learning software, and so it got people in the door. And after getting lots of interest in that, we started conversation classes. We have a women's group that meets almost every Friday. We work really closely with JSO, and they come in and do monthly awareness workshops. All of these are in the Parent Academy, so anyone can go on the Parent Academy website and get the catalog and find out what offerings are available this month.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You can learn more about ESOL by going to the district website. Joel, back to you.
Thanks, George. And that's it for this episode of Real School. Join us next month when a new episode premieres on Sunday, March 6th at 6 p.m. on the CW17. Remember, you can always stay up to date by visiting duvalschools.org. Until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.
So, what are some of the other departments that you work with? Or no, that's not the right question.
For Real School, I'm Desiree Miller. Back to you. Ooh, let's do that again.
Students can experience all of our schools under one roof. Come and get it at the 2nd annual DCPS Chartwell. Oh my goodness.
Stay tuned, Real School will be right back. Ew.
A local foundation stepped in and gave them gifts they'll never forget. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
There's nothing quite like graduation.